right here, you want to maybe twist out a little bit, and then aim there. See, that's where you want to be. That makes sense? You're kind of going like something like this, and it's there. You want to find that spot that makes it happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Make sure you use your body, not just your hamstring. Yes, sir. Right? Here, same thing. Here. See, feel that? You're going in the wrong angle now. You're going somewhere over there. That way. That makes sense? Okay? Here, Angel, are you using this?
Yes, sir.
Was he? Get the finger action right?
No.
Because I didn't see that. Okay, try that, do that.
Or
The second part of it. Yeah, see, you got the angle right on
Yes,
this.
he does. Keep going.
Yeah, try it. Ah! There you go. That's what I didn't see last time. Now, Angel, when you do this, ease up on the finger. You still have to have the pressure pulling this way. You see what I'm saying? Pull, yes, and then, you relax it. The final action is that you squeeze it really tight and rotate right at his chest. Okay, here, do that to me for this. Hi. Kind of hold your hand. Right, so you're over here, right? Yeah. So yeah, see, I don't feel this. That I'm feeling, but I'm not feeling the push. What you're doing is this. You're pushing like that, but not pulling like that at the same time. Do you understand the difference? So you have to push and pull, okay? And then squeeze it, okay? Does that make sense? That's much better, much better. A lot of pressure there. That's it. Now rotate right, push your elbows down, and rotate right at my chest, that way. Okay, that makes sense? So the direction, when you have this, and you feel all that? Right, okay, is that, I'm going to leave it off here, is that you aim right there. Right? Right, and your wrists torque that way. Okay? Yes. Okay, so he's like this, and you just did this, right? You pressure, let's feel all that pressure, right? Then your body here, what you guys are doing is turning out this way. You want to go this way, see? So you're closing to that happens. Does that make sense? Don't turn like this and go out, step out that way. Does that make sense? So you're doing the same thing. You're here, right? And then at this point, it should feel like that. Before I even stepped in there. Does that make sense? All this is lifting and all this. I'm driving this down as I come. I don't let this off here. Drive this down. And then when I go here, what you guys are doing is getting me here and stepping this way. You get to here and go that way. That makes sense? So everything is tight. Okay? All right? Everybody understand that? Okay, so same with the ridge hand, right? You're going to go this way. You want to snap your hand at the end. So it goes bang like that. That makes sense? And it doesn't then matter here or there or reverse or to the body or none of that stuff matters, or the groin or any of that stuff matters. You snap your body like that and snap it through. So you'll be practicing, boom, like that. You can be tight or you can be round, either one. You just want to make sure that you snap it and dig in. See how the body is? See the weight here? See the line? See the other hand? See the energy? Feel that. That's what you want to create. Boom, just like that. And then it doesn't matter. I hit on this kind of upward angle because the pad was like that. I'm not telling myself, oh, I need the pad to be like this or like this or like this. I don't care. You understand? I just, wherever he puts it, boom, I just make the move, use the same kind of quality, period. If the target is something like this, when I turn over, I actually kind of tilt my hand over a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to hit with your thumb. Does that make sense? So over time, you learn to actually turn your hand over this way. See? I might turn my body a little bit or get flexible wrists, but you want to do that. You don't want to do that. That makes sense? So it depends on where you're hitting. If I'm hitting a person in the neck and I'm turned over this way, I'm going to actually tilt my hand over a little bit extra. Remember when we practice punching and we say you can punch like this, like this, like this, like this, or all the way inverted? You can actually punch inverted. Have you been there when we talked about those? So you can punch all the way over just to get a little extra length. Well, the same is true with these. You can turn it on any angle. I can even go this way, boom, which is an odd way to do it, but you could do it, right? I'm in some position, I decide to go smack like that, or I come around this way and go smack. You know what I mean? You just have to kind of be flexible.
Besides, I believe there is also a minimum height at which you will hit in that position. When it's too low, I believe that's for somebody.
No, it's just a matter of practicing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like that. That's right. That, and you just get used to it. If the target was way down here, right, you can either drop your body a little bit by dropping your knees, not bending over, right? But eventually you'll learn to just go like that, or like that, or like that. Doesn't really matter. You just hit wherever it is. Because I might be fighting to bring your left knee up here and decide to go smash, like if you just put your foot on the ground, right? Here we're fighting, and I see this, and I might boom, like that, see? And feel like I can't quite get the power this way, so I'll decide to turn it over completely that way. Can be anything. After that is where the problem is, right? So you guys know how this works and how to make it tight in. Just make sure you get in here and do that. As after you do this whole thing that we practiced last time, right? Make sure that you get real tight here, so that this is really squeezed even before you even do the thing, so everything's super tight. That make sense? Okay, but after this, you pivot your body, see, and drive it up that way. Just turn your hand and then pivot again, see, and it'll go right down. That makes sense? And that puts you right in position so that this is turned and his thumb is that way. See? Then you just bring this tight like this, and then you can just dip him right down. This turns, see? Super tight like that, right? This locks in. It stays against your elbow. Hold him with the knee. See how much that is hurting him, and I haven't done it yet. That's how it's supposed to be. Really tight. That makes sense? Okay. So be sure when you're here, you know how to do this part and this. Make sure you do that because yours is pretty good anyway, so you want to have it all. See, that way it's like that when you put it on. Pivot out a little bit here, smooth. Make sure this goes up and here. This way. Yours goes like some weird way. This way. Pivot back out and we'll drop him straight down. Across here, thumb up. He's twisted. Here, here. That's what will happen. That makes sense? When you're here. Super tight. Feel this, Angel? This is what's supposed to happen, guys, all the way through this lock, right to there. Okay, guys? Right? Okay, so the first part is relatively easy. You just have to be careful. When the person throws this punch at your head, right? You're not 100% sure exactly the angle that's going to come, and it's one of those weird street punches on purpose, right? So your move is this way. Make sense? As if you're going to do a real, what am I trying to say, back stance knife hand technique, right? So without hurting your arm, I'm going like that, see? And that's where I want to end up. This puts me right where I want to be so that I can arm drag him and be like that. Okay? Make sense? All right, so he does this. When you do this, yeah, we can absolutely do the other side. So we're like this, and you slip here. The trick is if you can get him, you get a little arm drag, that's a really good thing. He's punching hard, and you kind of give him a little juice, because you want to keep that energy going as you pivot into him. Okay? You don't really want it to be this. Stop, turn, start his momentum again. Yeah. That's right, he's in there. Yeah, it's all one thing. You just do this. Here, like that. Did that make sense? Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a good question. This is what stops people. People think it's supposed to be stop and hit and then turn. Does that make sense? The only reason you're hitting him is just because you're there. The actual move is here, arm drag to the triangle. Okay? Just because I'm going that way, I might as well hit him as I go. Does that make sense? Now, the thing that you're not getting, I'm going to use him just to say the arm move. So he does the attack here, right? And you go here, and you try to get a little bit of this juice here. You're going to hit him. You've got to both, regardless, it doesn't matter so much whether his leg is here or because it's all about that. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you do that, it just doesn't matter. So, if you understood what happened?
Clearly.
Okay, right. Okay, so make sure when you get to here that you don't forget, it's not all about this, it's all about this. And that you press and twist. That's the key to it. Pull it to your body, press it tight, and twist that down. That makes sense? Wherever that leg is, if it's like that, then life is good. It's very easy, right? Because all you gotta do is put this in front of it, like this, and kind of slide your heel backwards that way, right? If his leg is the other way, like this, my ideal is still to get that, so I just turn a little bit more, like that. Does that make sense? It's only if I feel I can't get it that I then go for the other move. That makes sense? Okay? Yeah, what you have to do is make your hand down like this and hit that way, not that way. That's something totally different. That's a spear hand. We're hitting like that, okay? This is self-defense for non-masters who have spent 30 years jabbing their hands into sand and rocks, and that's a different thing. We're going like this, so that when you hit, you're kind of on this line, and you're hitting with this part rather than that part, right? So you're hitting this way.
So it's more peace.
That's what it is. Yeah, as opposed to that. That's something different. You have to know how to do that. Yeah. We don't teach beginners that. You know what I'm saying? This is that. Does that make sense? Only very, very fast, even because it's to the eye. Okay? So when you make a finger jab, right, you're here like this. Pow. You're here like this. Only you're hitting the person in the eye. So it's just that. See? Here. Here. And so it has so much authority because, well, because it's the eye, that's because you practice it all the time. Kind of tighten your body a little bit. If I do that, it's still gonna hurt. Does that make sense? And if you do it to the throat, right? Or you do it to the hip bone, or you do it to the, not the hip bone, but the hip, there, you don't want the hip bone with it, right? Or back in the day, of course, they used to do the solar plexus and all that kind of stuff, you know, because they practice a lot more. But if I do this, you see what I'm saying? That's still gonna do the job, right? That makes sense to everybody? We practice it to the eye because that's because they'll do that no matter what. Even if he knows, his head's gonna snap. Yeah. So if I go like this, even if I miss his eye, this is the other thing. If I miss his eye and my fingers are like this, I can break my fingers. If my fingers are like this and I miss his, I'm just gonna hit him like that, which doesn't hurt my hand too bad. Okay? When you do the Tsurikomiashi, right? You're like this. You need to step and turn. Okay? This is a big, strong guy, right? So he kicked me, right? Boom, and he got me. Boom, and he did like this, and I went like this. I can't just pull him. I need to step around on this hip angle here. Okay? So I'm here, and I don't want to pull his left shoulder, obviously. I'll just reach up here, and I want to pull him off balance, and I want to step and turn like that. Okay? If you were Chinese. So what happens is when I feel I made a mistake, I, the defender, because I should have blocked with this hand, right? So I know now that as soon as he's going to put, that I have to put this hand here. I have to woo style, as they say, right? But I also know that that puts me in trouble if he does any leg motion, right? So we, in Chinese martial arts, one of the things that we have is this motion. Okay? So you just have to look at what I'm doing. It's literally cross. Okay? It's not, if you're right here, you stay here. See? Shift my weight and kick. Excuse me.